We're going to be doing college basketball one and done's draft, right? So basically the rules, there are no rules. You just draft guys that you think were awesome and they played 1 year in college. And we're basing this off of their year in college, correct? Obviously.
Yes.
Okay. Clarify that for the listeners and the viewers. Yeah, I don't know how to determine who goes first. Doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, we'll do a snake top 5 draft. Who gave
I'll
the
take
best?
whatever's undesirable here. I like any spot.
Fine, then I'll go first. There's a big personal there's 2 personal aspects to this. But I think first overall, I gotta go like the OG. Like when you think one and done, led his team to a champion. I gotta go Melo. Like and he's Melo means something to me. My favorite basketball player of all time. Didn't watch him in college, but like he's the OG one and done. Led that Q's team that probably outside of him and outside of who the coach was, didn't have any business being there. I'm going Melo one.
Watch yourself, bro. Jerry McNamara was on that team, boy, from our area.
He might be their next coach too.
Yeah,
That'd be sweet. I hope he is.
I mean that's a pretty not a clear one because there's a bunch of clear ones, but that's a very respectable one. Yeah. Maybe it is.
In my mind,
one.
there was a clear 1A, 1B, but like Melo, I think is, correct me if I'm wrong, like the OG one and done.
Yeah, I would say so. There is definitely a clear 1A and 1B in terms of like, there's another guy that did a very similar thing to Melo with bringing his team there. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm not drafting the best 5. My team's gonna have a lot of aura, and I'm going Zion with pick 2. And yeah, I'm a Duke fan, sure, but I think Zion's comfortably in the top 4 one and dones. I'd have him 3. I think talent wise he's 1, but I think winning a championship has some other guys ahead of him for sure. But like, dude, the Zion experience, like, there was nothing like it. We'll never see it again.
Never.
I mean, the guy was must-see television. I've never seen a more known college basketball player in my life. Everyone knew who this guy was. And he was just ridiculously fun to watch. So I'm taking Zion at 2.
And to that point, like Cooper had so much buzz last year, and it didn't match Zion. Like if Zion was on TV, it was like you had to sit down and watch it, even if he was in like at Wake Forest. Like it didn't matter.
It was so awesome. I miss those days.
And that team was so fun too.
Yeah.
Like,
that's my favorite college team.
Like obviously they lost, but they had some really fun tournament games, like the UCF and then obviously the Michigan State game. But can't complain with that pick.
That's a great team. Zion obviously should be on everyone's board. So I have the turn here. First overall, I'm going to go Anthony Davis. One of the best defensive prospects ever, probably the best defensive prospect ever. He wasn't doing everything on offense, like you knew that there was some polishing there, but he still averaged 15, took his team to a championship, dominant, pretty easy. Is he the 1B you guys were talking about?
That was my 1B.
Yeah.
Correct.
Definitely not making a hard pick there. My second pick might come as a surprise. It might not to you guys. I'm going Trae Young. He's the first and only player to ever lead the NCAA in scoring and assists. I just remember this guy being compared to Stephen Curry, and obviously no one could live up to Stephen Curry, but he did his best, right? And he might have a couple more years in DC. And he was awesome. Like, I just think scoring the ball, everything, passing the ball. I think he's one of the more underrated one-and-dones ever.
Yeah.
He had the must-see element. Like,
He
it
really
wasn't
did.
Zion, but he was hella fun.
He was awesome. He was pulling up from everywhere. He averaged like 25, 12 dimes a game or 10 dimes a game, whatever it was. There was nothing that he couldn't do in those games.
Yeah. My thing is I just struggle with, and I know it's the whole season, I just struggle with, like, the success of the team itself. Like, he was a first-round exit. And I know it was to, like, a Dan Hurley coach team with Rhode Island, but, like, it's tough to get past that part. Because like a lot of guys, especially in college, it's like your legend is built then, and he lost in the first round.
That's fair. That's also a fair point. I think out of the guys who didn't really succeed, though, he would definitely be that first pick.
Yeah, Yeah.
So, I mean, that's also personal too. Not that I was like, oh, the Magic are going to get him, or I was super, super tapped into college basketball then. But, I mean, I love Trey now, and then watching those highlights.
So then that leaves me with pick number 5. And this is easy for me. This was the next guy that I wanted in terms of the Aura team. We got Zion, and we're going to add Kevin Durant, dude. 25 and 11 over a full year, shooting 40% from 3. And this dude was like witchcraft when it was happening. Like 6'11", he's shooting 7 threes a night. He's making 40% of them. Like Cade was a game breaker. Like you never saw something like that in college. Maybe not maybe didn't have the tournament run. He definitely didn't. I think he was a second round exit. But one of the better one and dones we've ever seen, and one of the swaggiest. So Kevin Durant's going to fit pretty nicely on my team.
He played awesome in those games, though. Like he had like 30 and 9 in the second game. So I know what you're saying with the tournament success, but at some point, it's got to be the team too. So I mean, that was definitely my pick if I was in your spot.
Yeah, that's interesting. I still have like some personal picks on the board here.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what I'm going with.
I think I got to go with my first pick, last pick of the second round. And I'll go with the more personal one, John Wall. Really like John Wall introduced me to college basketball. Obviously I was like vaguely like remember watching a game here, watching a game there, but like 2010, turn on a game on a Saturday afternoon at like 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock obviously, but like, and watching John Wall do what he was doing was like unbelievable. And he made me a Kentucky basketball fan for like a solid 7 years. I would say like the last year I really watched Kentucky basketball was that what was Luke May game or whatever against UNC. But like he really got me into it. That team was fun. Boogie Cousins on there. Bledsoe was on that team. Such a fun player to watch. Obviously went first overall. Did it in the league too. I mean, he had a song named after him. He had a dance move that he would do. I mean, the Dougie's the Dougie because of John Wall. Had the John Wall little fist. I mean, he was cultural too. And now it's just taking me back. And he got eliminated by what's his name? Missoula's West Virginia. Not that Missoula was a big name, but in the Final Four. But that is just such a big personal pick for me. I'm not going to say for what, but he's like a password for one of my accounts that I have on an unnamed site. I'm not going to tell you what because then you know my password, but that's a big personal pick. And then coming around, I think I got to go. This really isn't personal because I never watched him in college, but just like the meaning of it. The youngest MVP ever. Obviously, we're not talking about NBA stuff, but Derrick Rose, Memphis. Obviously, Calipari was there, but I mean, he took Memphis to a national championship. Literally, what was it? Did Mario Chalmers to the game-winning shot or the shot that forced overtime? Like, was literally a shot away from winning a national championship at Memphis. Like, first overall pick. I think he's got to be there.
Two guys that were definitely on my radar. More specifically being Derrick Rose. But I wasn't going to take him anyways because there's another point guard that is just means more to me. And that's Lonzo Ball, man. I had so much fun watching Lonzo Ball in college, and everybody knew – I mean, not everybody. He wasn't like a household name, I'd say, but anyone that's tapped in with basketball knew the Ball brothers already from Chino Hills. And – I had a lot of fun with that high school team, watching their highlights when I got home from school. And, like, Lonzo did not disappoint, man, on the big stages. Shooting 30-foot game winners, like, famously called Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical by some NBA draft dude, like YouTuber, I forget his name. I think Lonzo, man, another just experienced guy for me, like, super fun. A lot of swag, of course, rocking the ZO2s, and that's my dog.
He's another cultural guy, too. Like, he was all, like, the Ball, he's the first Ball brother.
Yeah, and I'm not West Coast, but, like, everyone out there, like, Lonzo was a huge thing in high school, like, local legend. He goes to UCLA, like, just a cool story. Got drafted by the Lakers, which isn't part of this, but...
No, I mean, I love it. And everything plays into that. Just, I mean, following the Ball brothers, like they were such a cultural fun. Like everyone was waiting for him at UCLA. Everyone was excited to watch him. So I got the turn here. Evidently, 2 of my picks were just taken. You guys know I haven't been as into college basketball, besides for Duke, really. So with this pick, I'm going to go with Cooper Flagg. It was very recent, but the dominance is just unprecedented. Like, he went to a Final Four, and he was just insane on both ends of the floor. There was nothing that he couldn't do. If you wanted him to shoot a 3, go ahead. If you wanted him to guard a center, go ahead. Literally not really a weakness in his game. And, you know, I'm sad that Duke didn't win the national championship that year, but it's something great to look back on. That team was also really fun. Continental, Cooper, like they in man down underneath. There was some rebounding questions I had a lot during the season, but I mean, I loved them.
I think Cooper, pound for pound, I didn't take him because I already got a Duke guy and I wanted to take Lonzo. I think Cooper, pound for pound, is the best one and done of all time, though. I think he's the most impactful.
I mean, if you add both aspects of the game, like we just said, or at least I said, Anthony Davis' offensive game wasn't fully there, and we know Melo was playing no defense at any point in his career. So if you're taking everything combined,
it's just rare to see like I took Zion, Anthony Davis, and Carmelo went high. Like even those guys, like everything on Duke's team ran through Cooper Flagg. Like he was LeBron James, and he had the number 4 overall pick on his team as well.
No, that's very true. Next pick, didn't watch this guy, but when I was going through my research, I feel as though he had to be taken. Michael Beasley, 26 and 12, double-double. Those numbers are just insane. We just said it with Kevin Durant. It's like you don't see those numbers from college guys. Like if a guy's averaging 17, that's really awesome. And if he's giving you 6 boards or 6 assists, that's awesome too. And they didn't have any tournament success. They won 1 game. At least they beat USC. I saw that in my research. Not that I wasn't tapped into college basketball, so I didn't watch this guy. I watched some highlights. And then he had a really fun NBA career, which is not factored into this, but he's a name that's recognizable. And I mean, 26 and 12 is 26 and 12 at the end of the day.
Yeah, he was next up for Team Aura.
Was he?
That's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he does have aura.
I probably should have took him there, but it's fine. Puts me in a little bit of a tough spot. There's another center that probably was better than this guy, but I already took Kevin Durant, so I'm not going to take that guy. Instead, I'm going to go for the homer pick. I'm going to take Big Jaw Okafor. Nastiest footwork, nastiest block player I have ever seen in college basketball. Pound for pound, freshman or senior. That man was unstoppable on the low block. Unfortunately, didn't really take off with my Sixers, but best believe I had 2 different jerseys. And Jahlil Okafor means a lot to me. National champion. At that point, like, there's an argument. Like, he was just as important to his team. The problem is Duke was stacked, not like Melo's Syracuse team. So, but Okafor was a beast, man.
I think there's literally, if you go back between me and my one buddy on Snapchat, it's saved of me going, like, he might actually fall to the Knicks at 4. Talking about Jahlil Okafor, because, I mean, I think everybody thought he was going to go. I mean, like, Cat was kind of the one, but, like, I thought he was going to fall to the Knicks to 4, and I was thrilled about that. And obviously things didn't happen, but he was that guy, and he won a national championship.
Love Ja. There's nothing else to say. I wish it worked. He was like my real first introduction into college basketball too. So there's always a sentiment there, even though I'm not the biggest fan right now. But shout out Ja, man. We're talking about him like he.
You go.
I was just saying we're talking about him like he. I'm talking about him like he got hit by a car.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out Ja.
I mean, that's like what the equivalent of what it felt like for me with him not working out.
This isn't another personal one, but I feel like it just has to be made as a contrary pick. Everything that Chooch, this isn't to go at you, everything you said about Kevin Durant, Odin was still taking 1. He made a national championship. Like, I think that just, he has to be here just because, and I know we're not talking NBA, but even obviously there, being how good Durant was in college, and obviously you saw the NBA, but NBA is not part of this. He still wasn't the first overall pick. Like Odin was that guy, and obviously we weren't around to really see the discourse. But I think when you have a guy as good as Kevin Durant and as good as he was in college, and he still wasn't the first overall pick, and it's not like an Anthony Bennett situation where it's like he had no bit. Like Odin was still the guy to go one, and injuries obviously, NBA career happens, whatever. But I think Odin has to be taken in this draft at some point.
Yeah,
He absolutely does.
And then I have that. Honestly, all the picks on my board are gone. I had a bunch of names. And I'm kind of trying to find a more personal one. And like I could go with like I'm not going to say a name actually because I don't know what Wells is going to do here. But I think I'm going to go to another one where it was like kind of instrumental in me like watching college basketball and kind of falling in love with college basketball. And I think I'm going to go Bradley Beal. And that also just might be for me being like a Kentucky fan back then and watching. I think Florida beat them, or one of the two. They beat Florida in the SEC championship. But Beal was so fun. And every year when I was younger, I would play out the entire tournament in my basement. And that year, Florida was a team that went deep because I would just hit threes with Beal. And I would have Beal as like averaging like 35 points a game in the tournament, and he was just automatic. And it was fun to play as Bradley Beal, as myself, as ridiculous as that sounds. But he's just like another guy that means something to my college basketball growth.
I mean that's not.
I love a pick like that.
And he was a bucket, so why not?
Yeah.
Because I got a crazier pick, man. I got a guy that didn't make the tournament. But to be honest with you, that's not what it's about. He chose to go to a horrible Washington team because that's where was his first offer. And I got Markelle Fultz here, man. 23 a night, 5-5, 48%, 41% from three. The most unstoppable guard scorer I've ever seen. He had 52 in a game one time. As a freshman, one and done. This is as unstoppable as it gets. Scoring. And I don't care what anybody says. It didn't work in the NBA. It should have, man. I don't know what happened with him, whether it was like a mental issue or if he was like his nerves got damaged. I don't care what it was. If you put that freshman Markelle Fultz in the league right now, he's putting up 20.
For my last pick, rounding out my 5, this is a guy I really liked from the NBA, so I'm just going to take him, and he was also dominant in college. Kevin Love, UCLA, double-double machine, did the same thing when he came into the NBA, even though that's not factored in. But he went to a Final Four. He was just this big, pudgy guy who grabbed every rebound and shot 35% from three in college. Granted, it was on 2.5 attempts. A little bit of that stretch forward showing in his early college years. So, yeah, I mean, that's all there is to it. I like him in the NBA.